Hey, what's up people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desmond Z. If this is the first time you've ever seen me. So, the Barbie movie comes out July 21st. Yeah, July 21st. This coming Friday. Depending on when you're watching this, it's coming out this Friday. And it's like, it's taking over like social media, the marketing, the media. It's everywhere. If you Google Barbie, your phone is just gonna explode with pink sparkles. Okay? Literally, just go do it and you'll see. What do we talk about here? Books. So what am I going to do? Books recommended for the Barbie characters. For the Barbie characters. That's what we'll be doing today in this video. So let's just get started without further ado. Alright, so I know I said, did I say recommend books to the characters? These are books that I think the characters would actually read. I think this is how I'm going to do it. It might be a mix of the two. I'm not sure yet. Just go along with me. Just follow along with me. It may be a mix between books that I would recommend to the characters and books that I think they would read. Or maybe just all of one of the two. We'll see. Let's just go. Alright, starting with our main character. I'll lead Barbie. Barbie. Lessons in chemistry. Aside from the fact that the color just goes along with it, I feel like it was a no-brainer. I feel like it was just, I was looking at my shelves because I tried to get books that I actually own or have read. Because I have not read this. Let me just say that. I own it, but I ain't read it. It just felt like a no-brainer to me. This book, the synopsis of this book, it's about a woman in the 1960s. She's a scientist. She has an all-male team. They don't believe in her. They don't believe in equality. Like, it's got Barbie written all over it. This is what she would be reading because people would be doubting her. They wouldn't believe in her. There's a scientist Barbie. There's an astronaut Barbie. There's plenty of different Barbies. This is what she would definitely be reading. I'm telling you. And also, I actually do want to read this. I started the audiobook. I want to say it was it last year? I think it was last year. It was either last year or early this year when I actually tried to get into the audiobook. But for some reason, this wasn't clicking for me in that moment. So I bought the physical, and I still have yet to read it. I mean, what else is new? But this is one that's actually, I look at it all the time and I'm like, I'm coming. I'm gonna get to you. This is another one that she would read, and I feel like it would surprise people. Because I feel like Lessons in Chemistry kind of goes right along with the Barbie brand. But the last story of Mina Lee, I think she would bring this to her book club. She would bring this to her book club because I enjoyed this book, but I talked about it when I reviewed it. I said how it was kind of slow, and y'all know how I feel about a slow book, but it caught me in the right moment. If I was to read this today, I don't know if I'd enjoy it the same. But at the time that I read this, it was just like, I guess what I needed in the moment. And I feel like this is what Barbie would read. She would bring it to her book club and let all the other Barbies know that, you know, she was she's in her introspective era. She's just in her quiet, sit back, really thinking and, you know, trying to get her life together, you know, type of mood. That's what she's doing. And so she would read the last story of Mina Lee, and she would just, you know, reach out and message a friend that she hadn't talked to in a while and be like, how are you doing in this climate, in this social climate today that we're in? That's what Barbie would do. That's what she would do. She would read this and then reach out to a friend she ain't talked to in a while. That's what she do. Next Barbie up is our President Barbie. Issa Rae. Issa motherfucking Rae. President Barbie, of course she's reading Finding Me by Viola Davis. Of course she's reading Finding Me by Viola Davis. And not Davis. Why did I say it like that? And not only is she reading the memoir of Viola, she's listening to the audiobook and she's doing it at the same time because she's just that type of girl and she knows what's up. And because she's President Barbie and because Viola Davis, you know, we know her as being a strong woman, a powerful black woman. And because that label comes with a little bit too much of responsibility, people always expect you just to be on it. People always expect you to just, you know, have it together and take care of everything when we know you are much more than that. And if you don't, you should read this book. That's another reason exactly why this would be so fitting, because Viola and and President Barbie would be much more than just being a leader and being strong. She would need room to be messy. She would need room to just, you know, just fall apart and cry and need help and just not always have it together. Like that's this, you gotta think, you gotta think, you gotta get deep. You gotta get deep, you gotta get below that surface. You gotta get under there. You gotta get under there. You gotta get under there. And because our President Barbie is layered, as I said, she would also be reading His Only Wife. And I loved this book. I think I gave this book like 4 stars. And this book was messy. This book was funny. It had a good heartfelt message behind it. And continuing the message of there's much more to this strong woman, this leader who has it all together. This book, she just wants time to sit back and read a good messy book. She just wants to have a good time. She just want to catch up on some mess, be a little dramatic, you know, get into some things. So that's why she would definitely be reading His Only Wife. Y'all should read this book. I gave it 4 stars. Because Ken is Ken, and, you know, he's just Ken, he would be reading Lessons in Chemistry as well. He would be reading Lessons in Chemistry, and the only reason he'd be reading it is because Barbie is reading it. That's why he'd be reading it. Duh, because he wants to impress Barbie. That's why he's reading it. He saw her with her copy, so he went and got a copy. So he's reading Lessons in Chemistry as well. And he's also reading The 2 Lives of Lydia Bird, because in this book we have Lydia Bird who loses her fiance, and so she starts taking these sleeping pills where she goes into this dreamland, and she has she's living an alternative life where she knows she's asleep, she knows she's not awake, and she's been sent into this other dimension where she is getting to live her life if her fiance had lived. And he reads this, Ken is reading this simply for the fact that he would want Barbie to love him so much that she would take sleeping pills to go into another dimension and be with him if she couldn't be with him in real life. Or is it real life? Who knows? Read the book and find out. But yeah, that's the only reason why. Another reason he would read this simply for Barbie. Our next Barbie is writer Barbie. And of course, she's reading Honey and Spice. She's reading Honey and Spice because she loves a cute story. She loves a cute story between 2 main characters who are just cute together. Now, remember when I read this and I told y'all, if you don't remember, I will remind you that I thought this was actually a really great book, but for some reason I really just never fully got hooked into it. It never just grabbed me, but I was able to still understand that this was a really good story. When I think writer Barbie, when I look at Alexandra Shipp, when I look at the character, for some reason this book just comes to mind. For some reason this book is it's one of the first ones that pops into my head. Kiki Banjo, she is a radio host and she's in college. She has a really popular radio show called Brown Sugar. And she's made it her mission to make sure the women of the African Caribbean Society at Whitewall College in Southern England do not fall into the mess of situationships, players, and heartbreak. So she talks about love. She talks about relationships. She's all for her girls. She's all for her women. She's all for them doing their thing. Okay, once again, goes right into, you know, the format of Barbie. It fits. It fits. It fits. Okay? Writer Barbie will also read Portrait of a Thief. And even though I personally did not care for this book, I was really excited about it before it came out. Like, I was so excited for it. And unfortunately, it did not hit for me. But as y'all know, I always say, you know, somewhere out there, somewhere over the rainbow. This is a great book for someone. And I really think writer Barbie would be that someone. She bring this book right along to her book club with other Barbie, and she talk about it all intellectually, bragging about how, you know, the people who didn't like it, like me, she would brag about how you just don't get it and you just don't understand and you need to open your mind. That's what writer Barbie would say. She would. But you know what? You let her pass. You let her get away with her little snooty because, you know, she don't do it too often. She don't do it too often, and that's still your girl. So you ain't too mad at her, but you still gonna let her know, you know what, you ain't care for the book. Catch me on the next one. We know him from Sex Education. He's about to be Doctor Who. Shout out to, he's another Ken. He's a blonde bombshell in the Ken movie. No, in the Barbie movie. Hold on. I know Kens are like all happy-go-lucky and all that. They're just happy to be there. But he's definitely reading My Government Means to Kill Me. He's definitely reading it. He's reading it. He's reading it, and I don't care. That's what he's reading. I know. I know Kens are basically just props and they are there, but this one got a brain. This one is he's a free thinker. He's a free thinker. And he's reading My Government Means to Kill Me. Because he is. Because this was a 4.5 star book and it's amazing. It's about a young black boy born into a wealthy family in Indianapolis. They're overbearing and their expectations are they ruin his life, and he's like, you know what, I gotta go. Cause I gotta go. So at 18 he runs away to New York City and he's roughing it. He finds a roommate, a best friend, and he's just trying to live in the 80s. And it's a whole bunch of shit going on in New York in the 80s. Y'all know this. So this is what he's reading. This is what he's reading, and he's coming back and he's telling all the other kids, y'all need to get it together. Y'all need to think. You acting dumb. You being really dumb right now, and I need y'all to be better for the Barbies, because the Barbies are amazing and y'all just here. Y'all need to get on a level. That's actually what he's doing, okay? That's actually what he's doing, and it's a benefit for the Barbies because we leveling up the Kens, okay? He's also reading The Black Flamingo, because why not? Why wouldn't he read The Black Flamingo? Why wouldn't he read The Black Flamingo? I don't think I actually talk about this book a lot. I read this book last February 2022 is when I read The Black Flamingo, and I can't remember what I actually gave it. That doesn't matter, but in my heart, in my brain, in my mind, in my soul, in this moment, I'm not having a bad reaction to like looking at it and picking it up. Because if I didn't enjoy a book, I always remember that. I always remember if I didn't enjoy a book. This is about a young 18-year-old. He's just a mixed race gay teen growing up in London. All his life he's navigated what it means to be Greek and Jamaican, but never quite feeling Greek or black enough. As he gets older, Michael's coming out is only the start of learning who he is and where he fits in. When he discovers the drag society, he finally finds where he belongs, and the Black Flamingo is born. That's what this book is about. I thought this book was really good. Yeah. Shuti Gatwa is reading this. I don't know why I keep saying his name like that. It's Shuti. Alright, our last one. This is our last one, and it's Weird Barbie. And weirdly enough, this was the hardest one because I kept getting book after. I was like, oh, she's definitely reading this. She's definitely reading this. She's definitely reading this. I just kept getting book after book, and I was like, this video will be 45 hours long. I can't have this many books for one Barbie. Weird Barbie is definitely reading the change. This book is only only $4.50 when y'all know how I feel. I told y'all last time, $3.50, $400, it's time to go. Yeah, but this book is almost 500 pages longer. It's not longer. This book is almost 500 pages long, and when I was reading it, it felt like it was like 800 pages long. I was like, my God, girl, like Kirsten Miller, put the pen down, put it down. But this book is about 3 women who are entering into like the menopause stage of their life, and once, you know, the change comes, they realize they have like supernatural powers. So it's kind of like magical realism. It's definitely rooted in like more of the real world. I think Charmed. I said that a million times every time I talk about this book. So they are taking, you know, I won't say revenge. They're getting justice for women who have been wronged in particularly their area of where they live. A bunch of women have started to go missing. So I think this is definitely something that Weird Barbie is reading. Although there's something weird about the change, you know, menopause and all that, but it's just the type of stuff she's into. She likes this type of stuff. Also, The Weight of Blood. She's definitely reading the Weight of Blood. And I know this is horror. This is, you know, a little thriller, a little killing, a little blood spilling is going on up in here. But it's Weird Barbie. It's Weird Barbie. She's definitely into the darker side of things. She's definitely bringing up a murder case at the book club, at the tea parties with all the other Barbies. She's definitely bringing it up. I'm sorry. With her lopsided cut hair and crayon all over her face. When Barbie brings up the fact that she had a little date with Ken and that they was riding in her Jeep, riding in her convertible, Weird Barbie is definitely having a side conversation with Writer Barbie talking about The Weight of Blood. They definitely leaned over. Another one was, it's so funny. Like I could have made a whole video about books that Weird Barbie would read. I really could have. Probably Weird Barbie and President Barbie. I could have made a whole video just based off them two alone. but she's definitely reading the damage. I read this, I want to say early last year, early 2022, and this is another one that I don't speak about often, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. This is another one where I see it in the bookstore and I'm like, oh, I read you, I got you. And this book is about, it's about Now I know, and I know this is Barbie, but you gotta think beyond the surface. That's what this movie gonna do. When you see it, it's gonna be more than just pink frilly frill. It's gonna give you a message. So that's what I'm here to do as well. So where Barbie reads this, it's about a young college-age kid who is assaulted when he's out on a date, I believe. And then his brother and his sister-in-law, who's a lawyer, you know, they're much older than him. They're like 17 years older than him. They are trying to help him, you know, find out what exactly happened and get revenge, get justice. And that's it. Those are my recommendations / what I believe these Barbie characters would read. It's there. I can see it. I can see it. Put me in contact. Put me in contact with them. Go and tag them. Tell them come watch this video. That's what you do, matter of fact. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're excited to see the Barbie movie, let me know down in the comments. Give it a thumbs up. If you're not excited to see it, still give it a thumbs up. Don't be a hater, okay? But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will see you in my next one. Yeah, that's it. Bye.